exploring lakes, rivers, and reservoirs across the country with an unyielding goal to enlighten viewers from a fisheye perspective. Come along and we'll investigate the habitat. Much more than a fishing show, this is an eye-opening aquatic experience. Welcome to Kim Stricker's Hook and Look.
That's a solid one. Oh, I got him. Now we're talking. If that's the right kind. Awesome, awesome. I don't know what else to say. Flipping the mats.
This week, Kim power fishes the grass with a reputable method. The bass are eager, the lure effective, the gear stout, and his commanding performance provides surefire validation.
I love pitching in the milfoil.
It's the month of August in the Mitten State, and like rows of cornstalks, columns of Eurasian milfoil extend from the lake bottom, reaching towards the midsummer sun. Although regarded as a nuisance to recreational boaters, this particular aquatic vegetation is nothing short of nirvana to largemouth bass and a variety of their forage species. To bass anglers, when milfoil entwines on the surface, it provides a visible target to place a lure with utmost confidence.
I love to pitch. One of my favorite ways to fish. You can make a lot of casts throughout the day, and you usually stick them good and get them in the boat. It's also a great way to catch big fish. This looks good through here. Gotta be a fish or two in here. That's a good start right there. I love doing this. I love it. He hit it, took a couple pops on that one, but he wanted that rage craw. That's a good way to start. Yes, sir. It couldn't be nicer. We got some overcast. This water is really clear and there's a lot of healthy milfoil. I really like it, and I think as long as those thunderstorms hold off, we ought to catch them. Good deal. All right. I'm ready to catch me another one. This is gorgeous. A rage craw is just a staple for a flipping and pitching bait. Those rage claws just vibrate like crazy, giving a lot of action. These midsummer fish need a little movement to attract them. I'm using a 1 ounce Turgrade tungsten bullet weight, and it drops quick. So when it drops and it hits the bottom, there's a poof off the bottom, and those tails are working on the way down. And all you got to do is lift it up once, and boom. That was a good one. Jeez, that was a good one. That was a heavy fish. Mama. Oh, get back down there, Kim. Is there more? Oh, man. That was a good one. Oh, I hate losing them. I don't care. It's not a tournament. It's my TV show, but either way, I hate to lose fish. And that was a good one. I'm not kidding you. That one had some serious weight on it. Shake it off. If that's the right kind, that's the right kind, and it's a darn good one. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. That's a solid one. That's a solid one. Awesome, awesome. I don't know what else to say, but this is just awesome. I love it. I love it, love it. One here, one there. And hopefully there's a group here. I mean, this is the right stuff. It's the matted milfoil, not so much the coontail. That's what I'm finding out so far. That's a nice fish. Nice fish, go on right back in your mat.
Stay tuned, there's more milfoil magic coming right up. Hook and Look is brought to you by Strike King Lure Company, #1 in fishing lures. Lose, feel the difference. Power Pole, swift, silent, secure. Seagar, trust Seagar when everything is on the line. And by Aquaview, reinventing underwater cameras.
Come out of here. He's got weeds, he's got everything. Yes, honestly, I get that happy when I catch fish. I'm sorry. But man, he was wrapping up in that stuff. All that milfoil. Eurasian milfoil, it's an invasive species. It spreads, you can see how it chokes up things. But from a bass fishing standpoint, these bass absolutely love milfoil. And so does the bait, bluegills, but it does choke up lakes and it's got to be managed. But for now, I'm glad it's not managed. Thank you. Let's go catch another. Pitching like this, you can make several casts a day. And obviously, the more casts you make, the percentage is in your favor to get a bite. And pitching is easy. It's just an underhand swinging pendulum. Just an underhand pitch, you let it go to the bottom, a couple of hops, and if you don't get a bite, bring it in and pitch it again. You know, tournament fishermen know how to cover a lot of water and make a lot of casts, and this is a dynamite presentation for anyone. So if you don't do some pitching in this heavy matted stuff, you're missing out on a lot of good fish and a chance of catching a good one. They're in there. They're in there. One fish at a time. You didn't even know when you whip them out like that, they don't even know they're caught yet. They got all the fight in them. Open wide. There we go. Right in that bone. Get out of there. Man. Has a stout hook. No question about it. But yeah, we covered a lot of water, and it's really just specific spots where we're getting the bites. And what we need to do is just take our time and methodically flip every little pocket, every little mat, and you know, we'll catch them. Covering tons of water, we didn't do much. It's just a few areas that are producing for us. What I'm saying is, you want to cover the water to first find where the fish are holding, and when you do, don't just continue on. Carefully work the immediate area thoroughly. I promise you, they're not alone, and you'll likely catch more. Get out of there. That's one thing about all the rage-tailed baits, is they all come with a protective shell case, which basically protects the integrity of the tails so they don't twist and bend and not work properly. Grass and bass and everything. Eurasian milfoil. Bass love it. No doubt about it. Bass love it. Homeowners, lake homeowners don't. But bass fishermen love it too. He didn't even know he was caught. He just come right up with all wrapped up in the weeds. But it's specific areas that are paying off. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Go right back down in your hole. Oh, he's gonna jump, I think. Oh!
Taking into consideration that the core of any angling presentation consists of several components, today's Seagar system begins with a black and blue flake Strike King Rage Craw. The unique tail design of all the Rage Tail baits is engineered for superior action, which triggers lethargic fish. Equally important to this power method is employing the strength of 65-pound test Seagar Flip and Braid and a heavy-action Lew's Custom Pro Series speed stick to aggressively hoist the bass out of thick cover.
Although somewhat difficult to explore without spooking the fish or stirring up the water, we'll penetrate that thick cover for an underwater point of view right after these messages.
There's more hookin' and some informative lookin'. Coming up next.
I want to bring special attention to the reel that I'm using today. This is Lew's Hypermag Speed Spool, which is part of their super low profile series. The Hypermag also happens to be the lightest bait casting reel in the Lew's lineup at just 5.4 ounces, featuring a sturdy one-piece magnesium frame, C45 carbon side plates, and a Duralumin spool. And although it may be light, make no mistake, this reel has got genuine backbone under a heavy load. With strong aircraft-grade, hard-analyzed aluminum alloy gears, a premium 11-bearing system, and oversized handle with dry-tack knobs, I'm able to handle pretty much anything a bass can throw at me. There are many other features to the Hypermag in regards to castability that we'll talk about at a later date, but for now, I'd like you to try one based on strength, power, and control. It won't take you long to gain confidence in this reel as I did. I'm seeing bait. I am so expecting it on every pitch. It could be anywhere in this stuff. I'm liking it. All this thick milfoil, and bass love it. But you can see how the bites aren't everywhere. They group up in little areas, some tighter than others, but you just keep plugging away, and we'll come to a spot where you'll catch a few right in the same immediate area, because they hang together in this stuff. You know, guys ask me, how do you fish a lake that's loaded with weeds? This is how. You penetrate the weeds. This is basically just knocking them on the head. They bury down in this stuff. And this is a great summertime pattern on weedy lakes. Again, milfoil grows in columns and can tower over 10 feet tall. As I was conducting a survey of the base of the growth, out of nowhere a bass unexpectedly appeared. And like the cunning raptor from a Jurassic motion picture, her stealth and intensity sustained as her eye focused directly on mine. Clever girl. Fortunately, she didn't devour me like the dinosaur did to the hunter in the movie. What she did do, however, is demonstrate to all of us how these bass will position themselves at the base of the milfoil, comfortably waiting in a stationary fashion, ready for a surprise attack. And if I were a rage craw darting off the bottom, that would have likely been the case. Throughout summer, as milfoil continues to grow, the columns of vegetation will eventually entwine on the water's surface, creating a canopy-like structure, often promoting a growth of slimy pond scum, which further congests the mat. In the past, I've documented how the bass will then suspend beneath this matted canopy, often in tightly grouped schools. And that's why I give emphasis to the advice that if you do get bit, continue to work that immediate area thoroughly. It's highly probable he was hanging out with a few friends.
To stay connected with Hook and Look, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We'll be right back. This portion of Hook and Look is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Evinrude, the only outboard that lets you have it all. Simms Fishing Products, the choice of professional guides and anglers worldwide. Trickstep, because getting in and out of your trailered boat should be easy. And by Indian River, Michigan Tourist Bureau. Pure waters, pure trails, pure north.
You could just sit in one place and just go around the boat here. There's so much. They could be anywhere in this stuff. I love fishing this way. Got 65-pound test flipping braid and jerk them right out of the stuff. There we go. Come on out of there, baby. There you go. You're on top of that stuff. Oh man, look at that. That's what we've been looking for. There's a stud. Oh, flipping the mats. Man. Today, I mean, we've caught a number of fish, but then it got tough. And finally got bit. Later in the day, the storm's going to be coming in here pretty soon. And it looks like they're going to start feeding. Nice fish. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Go right back down in your mat. There we go. Get out of there, get out of there. He ain't the size the last one was. But he's another bite. This front's starting to push in. It's like they're turning on in the afternoon. Yes. Go on in that stuff. Good deal. Good deal. I'm gonna get me a new Rage Craw. Again, let me show you. I've got a 1 ounce tour grade tungsten bullet weight, and I've got sinker stops, bobber stops to keep it from sliding up the line. I've got one to protect the knot from the weight, and I've got a 4/0 Hack Attack heavy cover flipping hook, and a Rage Craw with those fabulous Rage tails. There's nothing that excites those bass more than them Rage tails. Get out of there. That's a good one. That's another good one. Look at that thing in the water. That is another good one. Ooh, he's barely hooked. He's barely hooked. He's barely hooked. Oh, I got him. Look at that. Man, that could have just fell out if I'd have gave him any slack. This is absolutely a riot. No question. It takes perseverance to pitch, to pitch, to pitch, to pitch. You're not getting a whole lot of bites, but every now and then you get a stud. We've had a good day today, no question about it. Thanks to these little babies. Who'd ever thought that a little green fish could bring so much joy to people? I love bass fishing, that's for sure. And I love getting in the water and swimming with them too. Thanks for tuning in, and I want to encourage you to do the same next week. Outdoor Channel Director of Programming, Mitch Petrie, shows us his home water, Lake Minnetonka. We'll skip Ocho's under the boat docks and then conduct an informative underwater segment you won't want to miss. Minnetonka Boat Docks next week on Hook and Look.
Hook and Look is a Kim Stricker production.